Did you know that some of your everyday driving habits could be burning a hole in your wallet? You might think you're saving money, but these common fuel myths are actually costing you big time. In this video, we're about to blow the lid off 10 fuel myths that are draining your bank account faster than you can say, fill her up. Stick around to find out which money-saving tip is actually causing more harm than good. You won't believe number 7. Myth number 10, turning off the AC saves gas mileage. Ever heard that turning off your AC saves gas? Well, buckle up because we're about to blow the lid off this cool myth. You might think you're being thrifty by sweating it out, but here's the shocking truth. Modern AC systems are way more efficient than you think. Let's dive into the numbers. At highway speeds, using your AC only decreases fuel economy by about 1 to 4%. That's right, just a tiny dip. But here's where it gets interesting. Opening your windows at high speeds can actually guzzle more gas than running the AC. Why? It's all about aerodynamics, baby. When you're cruising at 55 miles per hour or faster, those open windows create drag that's like strapping a parachute to your car. This extra resistance makes your engine work harder, burning more fuel than if you just cranked up the AC. But at lower speeds, open windows win the efficiency game. Myth number 9. Manual transmissions always save gas. Did you know that manual transmissions aren't the fuel-sipping champions they once were? For years, we've been told that driving stick is the way to go if you want to save gas. But here's the shocker. Modern automatic transmissions have shifted into high gear, leaving their manual counterparts in the dust when it comes to fuel efficiency. You might be scratching your head, wondering how this happened. Well, it's all thanks to some seriously cool tech advancements. Continuously variable transmissions, or CVTs, are like the smooth operators of the car world. They can seamlessly change between an infinite number of gear ratios, keeping your engine purring at its most efficient RPM. It's like having a transmission that's always in the perfect gear for maximum fuel savings. But wait, there's more. Dual clutch transmissions are the speed demons of the automatic world. They shift gears faster than you can blink, giving you the performance of a manual with the convenience of an automatic. And guess what? These lightning fast shifts translate to better fuel economy too. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Myth number 8, cruise control always saves fuel. Cruise control seems like a no-brainer for saving fuel, right? Well, hold on to your steering wheel because the truth about this set it and forget it feature might surprise you. While cruise control can be a fuel saver's best friend on flat highways, it turns into a gas-guzzling nemesis when the road gets hilly. Here's the deal. On flat terrain, cruise control shines by maintaining a steady speed and avoiding unnecessary acceleration, but throw some hills into the mix and things get interesting. When you're cruising uphill, that little computer tries to maintain your set speed, pushing your engine harder and burning more fuel than if you were in control. But don't count cruise control out just yet. The key to fuel efficiency with this feature is consistency. If you're on a long, flat stretch of highway, cruise control can help you avoid those tiny speed fluctuations that secretly drain your tank. However, an experienced driver can often outperform cruise control on varied terrain by easing off the throttle on inclines and letting gravity do some of the work on declines. Myth number 7, topping off the tank gets you more gas. Ever heard that satisfying click at the pump and thought, just a little more won't hurt? Well, buckle up because that extra splash could be costing you more than you think. That seemingly harmless habit of topping off your gas tank isn't just unnecessary. It's potentially harmful to your wallet and your ride. Here's the kicker. Modern vehicles are equipped with a charcoal canister designed to trap fuel vapors. When you overfill your tank, you're not just wasting fuel, you're risking damage to this crucial emissions control system. A flooded canister can lead to reduced fuel efficiency and engine performance issues. Talk about a double whammy. But wait, there's more. That extra fuel you're trying to squeeze in, it's not even making it into your tank. Once the pump clicks off, additional fuel either returns to the pump or spills out. Not only are you literally pouring money down the drain, but you're also creating a potential fire hazard and risking damage to your car's paint job. Myth number 6, premium gas cleans the engine and improves performance. Did you know that some drivers are pouring money down the drain at the pump? It's time to pop the hood on the premium fuel myth and see if you're really getting more horsepower for your hard-earned cash. You might be surprised to learn that the fancy premium label isn't always worth the extra cost. Let's talk octane ratings. Premium fuel boasts a higher octane level starting at 91 or above compared to regular gas at 87. But here's the kicker, that higher number isn't about giving your engine superpowers. It's actually designed to prevent knocking in high performance engines. For most cars, it's like buying a tailored suit for your pet rock, unnecessary and expensive. Now, you might be thinking, but doesn't premium fuel clean my engine better? Oil companies would love you to believe that, but if regular gas was so dirty, we'd see older cars breaking down left and right. Spoiler alert, that's not happening. Myth number 5, filling up in the morning saves money. Ever heard that filling up your tank in the early morning saves you money? It's a popular belief that's been circulating for years, but before you start setting your alarm for those crack of dawn gas runs, let's take a closer look at the science behind this claim. The idea stems from the notion that cooler temperatures make fuel denser, giving you more bang for your buck. But here's the thing, the gas at your local station isn't affected by the morning chill like you might think. Why? Because it's stored underground, where the temperature stays pretty much the same all day and night. Now, you might be wondering about those fuel pump meters. Surely they must be affected by temperature changes, right? Well, not quite. These pumps are actually calibrated to account for a specific fuel temperature. This means whether you're filling up at sunrise or sunset, you're getting the same amount of gas for your dollar. But what about those cool morning temperatures? While they might make your early morning pits stop a bit more comfortable, they're not doing much for your wallet. The cooler air might slightly reduce the chances of fuel vapors escaping into the atmosphere, but it doesn't affect how much fuel you're getting or how much you're paying for it. Myth number 4, driving on a low fuel tank destroys the engine. Ever heard that running on low fuel will destroy your engine? It's a common belief that's been making drivers anxious for years, but before you panic at the sight of that fuel gauge needle dipping below the quarter tank mark, let's take a closer look at what's really happening under the hood. Here's the shocker, modern fuel systems are way more advanced than you might think. Your car's fuel pump is designed to pull fuel from the bottom of the tank no matter how much gas is sloshing around in there. And those high-tech fuel filters, they're working overtime to keep your engine clean, whether you're running on a full tank or fumes. But hold on, there's a twist. While your engine isn't going to explode from low fuel, consistently running on empty isn't exactly a smart move. Your fuel pump relies on that gas to stay cool, and when there's barely any fuel in the tank, it can start to overheat. Over time, this could lead to a premature fuel pump funeral. And trust me, that's not a cheap fix. Myth number 3, big gas stations have better fuel. Ever wondered if that extra cash you're shelling out for brand name gas is actually worth it? You might be surprised to learn that all gasoline, regardless of where you buy it, has to meet the same government standards. That's right, whether you're filling up at a big name station or a small local joint, the base fuel is often identical. But here's where things get interesting. Those big brands like Shell and Chevron, they're not just selling you plain old gas, they're adding their own special blends to the mix. We're talking detergents, lubricants, and corrosion inhibitors. Sounds fancy, right? Well, here's the kicker. These additives might help keep your engine clean, but they won't boost your mileage or supercharge your performance. Myth number 2, fuel additives improve mileage and engine performance. Have you noticed those eye-catching bottles of fuel additives at your local auto parts store? They promise to boost your car's performance, clean your engine, and even improve your gas mileage. But here's the million-dollar question. Are these miracle additives really worth your hard-earned cash, or are they just another clever marketing ploy? Let's take a closer look at what these additives claim to do. Many boast they can clean your fuel system components, from tanks to injectors. While they might offer some temporary benefits in certain situations, the improvements are often short-lived. And here's the kicker. The cost of regularly buying these additives usually outweighs any minor fuel savings you might see. But don't just take my word for it. Real-world tests have shown that most fuel additives only deliver marginal improvements, if any at all. This means you're likely paying for results you'll never even notice. It turns out that for most drivers, sticking to regular fuel maintenance, like using quality gas and changing filters, is far more effective than relying on these additives. Myth number 1, shutting the engine off at a stop saves gas. Ever find yourself at a long red light, finger hovering over the ignition? You're not alone. The age-old debate of whether to shut off your engine or let it idle has sparked more arguments than a family road trip. But what if everything you thought you knew about saving gas at stops was wrong? Here's the deal. The belief that shutting off your engine at every stop saves gas is a relic from older car technology. Back then, starting an engine guzzled fuel like a thirsty camel, but modern fuel-injected engines, they're a whole different ball game. Starting a warm engine today uses just a smidge more fuel than idling. Now, you might be thinking, wait a minute, doesn't idling still waste gas? You're not wrong. Technically, turning off the engine does save fuel, but for those quick stops at traffic lights, the savings are so tiny you'd need a microscope to see the difference in your wallet.